Hey everybody, this is Vinny Martell at the Vanilla Fudge. Let's go straight to the top of the charts because you guys keep me hanging on.
Go straight to the top of the charts. Go straight to the top of the charts. From 10 to 1, you got a show number one when you go straight to the top of the charts. Top of the charts, top of the charts. That song's gonna climb to the top. When you go straight to the top of the charts. When you go straight to the top of the charts. When you go straight to the top, right to the top. When you go straight to the top of the charts.
Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce to the world one of the finest guitarists out there, Vince Martell, and my co-host Sabine can't be with us today, but we'll carry on the show. How are you today, Vince?
Hey man, how you doing, brother?
Good, man. Just call me Plastic. Now, Vince, I just want to ask you, you got no idea. I mean, like in 1967, when you keep me hanging on, you guys are the master of master musicians, right? There's nobody that came out like that. And I'll be honest with you, the Beatles were heavy, like in 1968. But you guys were heavier in 1967. You know that?
Wow, that's pretty cool, brother. I like that.
Well, I'll give you an example. Abbey Road didn't happen till later. So what happens is you guys come out with this psychedelic sound, and let me explain to you. That song, You Keep Me Hanging On, my interpretation is this. Tell me if I'm right. You guys are masters of your instruments. You can see that, but not just masters. You're showmen, but not only showmen. It's like I have never seen, or anyone hasn't seen, somebody come out and take command of a song and make each song a performance. Like every song you do, the whole collection of the song, for example, You Keep Me Hanging On, is like a journey of sound before its time. Like when I hear it, there's two different versions of Keep Me Hanging On. There's one where you play all these riffs and then you hear the organ part. And they're like, that takes you into the song. But you guys are smart. You slow it down. You get the crowd to think, what's this? And then you like take off. And the only way I can say is, as I said, it's pre-psychedelic and so heavy that there's nothing like it out there. And you've got no competition. And everybody in UK or the world or whatever goes, what is this? It's just so skillful. Would you agree with that?
I sure would agree with it because we labeled it psychedelic symphonic rock. And speaking of the Beatles, you know, they love the Vanilla Fudge. Like you were saying, George Harrison used to play Eleanor Rigby and Ticket to Ride whenever he went to somebody's party. That's what we heard. So it's pretty cool stuff.
But you guys did that on your first album, Vanilla Fudge. You did Ticket to Ride and you did Eleanor Rigby. And that was like taking a chance and paying a homage to the Beatles. And the Beatles wouldn't have heard such a heavy sound of their songs. So they must have taken note of it and thought, gee, you know, we're doing Sergeant Pepper, but this is on a different level as well. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. Yeah, thank you. That's very cool. You're right.
Now, also, I want to tell you, what was it like, you guys being young guys and then going to the UK and the song makes top 20 there, right? I believe. And then you're going playing like Savile Theatre or the Speakeasy Club back in the Who. I mean, you're in the element. In 1967, that is the place to be in London. So tell me what that's like.
Well, it was very cool because we got in there to, to rock England, and we got a chance to do it. We did, like you said, we did something with the Who at the Savile Theatre, and actually we were a little out of it, and we got a beautiful review from the write up, and so because we were actually loud, super loud, a little bit louder than the Who, and we heard that the Who weren't too happy about that. But London at that particular time was like really swinging. And we figured let's go do like an American Invasion. You know what I'm saying? Like something cool like that. And we got a chance to do that thanks to our management and people in the business behind the scenes that a lot of times don't get enough credit. And we just had a chance to turn England upside down a little bit, which we're very happy. We had a great album audiences and the albums. I mean, just the whole thing was just fantastic memories I got.
Vince, can you tell me who in 1967 when you went to the UK, who did you actually meet? Did you meet the Yardbirds? Did you meet Janis Joplin, or I'm just saying Jimi Hendrix or anyone like that there?
Oh, of course. We toured with Jimi Hendrix 13 dates in a row, and I got to know him. We became pals to some degree, both being guitar players, and we used to jam at a place called The Scene in New York City on 46th Street. And geez, I don't know. I guess the Beatles and everybody. Janis Joplin. Let me mention Janis Joplin. We did a thing at the Palm Beach Festival with Janis Joplin. She came up, and her and Johnny Winter, and we backed them up doing that. But we did a lot of gigs with Janis also. Big Brother and a holding company. So in the UK, we just had played all over the place. So it was great. We did the whole continent over there.
Did you end up meeting any of the Beatles in your career?
Personally, from what I heard, is at the Sable Theater was let me see, Paul McCartney and I think George Harrison were there and the audience, and there was so much going on. No, I didn't really say hello to them. I don't think they came into the back. I think they were kind of a little bit too famous that they didn't, whatever the reason was. But so I personally didn't. But I heard, that they did love all our stuff.
As I said, psychedelic songs, but masters of songs that are masters of masters. Like the degree of your musicianship, the whole lot of you got to understand. You're the only guitarist in the band, so you're playing a major part there. It's not like you got someone playing rhythm guitar or something, and that organ sound fills out the bottom of the song. Like, in other words, that's like your backbone there with the bass, and you're working from there. And your drummer, come on, I mean, that's like never seen drumming or anything like that before. The only thing I can say is the Rascals must have been a bit of an influence to you guys, because their drummer Dino's fantastic too.
Yeah, Dina. Yeah, I know all them guys. They're from Jersey area, and yeah, we used to see them when they first made it. In fact, I heard about them when I was playing music in Florida before I came up to New York, and we caught them, and so we got to know all them guys. Yeah,
That's
man.
that's amazing in itself. But when you go back, as I said, your album Vanilla Fudge, the first one, 67, that went to number 6. That album, right, in Billboard. I mean, how big is that?
It went to number 6 in the USA. You got it. And in fact, speaking of the UK, it went to number 2 in England, only behind the Beatles. It was there for a long time, number 2 in England. So, we try to get the most emotional value and the most soul and everything. We try to squeeze every ounce of emotion and soul we possibly could out of every note. I mean, that's like what we try to do.
See, I got to say, the Vanilla Fudge are the innovators, as far as I'm concerned, of psychedelic, but also heavy rock. See, there's nothing going around that heavy at that time. And you guys, I don't even think you guys even knew it, because you're just doing your thing and thinking, right, you can't dance to this stuff, but this is what we're all about. This is what we're doing. And it's like, as I said, it takes you on a musical journey. The arrangements for all these songs are really so sophisticated. I mean, you'd know, but that's what I class them. They are masterpieces. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would. I thank you for the nice words, but I would agree with that. We had like the best drummer and bass player in the business, Carmine Apiece. The guy's fantastic. And Timmy Bogart, I'm sorry, the guy just passed away a few months back, but Yeah, I'd say he's one of the top five bass players in the world, the best. I mean, this guy was just fantastic. So having that kind of a drum and bass player, they were like two musicians with one heartbeat when they played. And of
I
course,
believe three of the songs charted, right? You keep me hanging on, take me for a little while, and Shotgun. I mean, I've heard Shotgun, and there's different videos of that. That's another trip.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. All of those songs, yeah. And another one too, Thoughts, a tune that I wrote went to number 6 in Italy. But yeah, Take Me for a Little While, and also Season of the Witch was another one that was very big. They used to play that at midnight up in here in New York, like every night. The Songbird, let me see if I can remember what her name was. Allison Steele. She used to play that on WNEW FM every night at midnight. But yeah, Take Me for a Little While, written by Trade Martin, a good friend of George Shadow Morton, our producer, great guy. I'm sorry he's no longer with us either, but he did the Shangri-Las, and he did the Leader of the Pack, and Janice Ian, and a very creative guy. He was able to get the creativity out of us in the studio. So I got it all in my book, the psychedelic solo over here, which I'll show you real fast here. This is a
That's
book.
fantastic. Where can they get the book, Vince?
You can get it at vincemartell.com. It's available for pre-order, and vincemartell.com, and it's called Psychedelic Solo, and I got a lot of details in there, a lot of stuff, uh, and it's basically my whole life story. Thanks to the good Lord, I got a chance to be able to be a rock and roller, which I'm still doing. I'm playing a motorcycle rally next week up here at a place that we're doing all the good guys and the bad guy. Everybody's going to be there, so it's some pretty cool stuff.
Right. Just tell me this now. What about some new music? Have you put out any new music recently? And where can they find it?
Well, I got to thank you guys down in Australia, because we got, with a great manager that we have right now, we got a deal on Golden Robot Records out of Australia. And so they got a bunch of things out. They got the Immigrant song that we did. Led Zeppelin used to open for us when they first came to the United States. And so what happened is we did a whole album. It's called Out Through the Indoor, and it's all Led Zeppelin tunes, but it's rearranged Vanilla Fudge style. And we got a song called the Immigrant Song. This is available on vanillafudge.com, by the way. The Immigrant Song we rearranged it, and that's a video. We also did a video for that, so people could download that and check that out. The Immigrant Song, Vanilla Fudge, Golden Robot. And then if you want to check something else out, check out Vanilla Zeppelin. Okay, Vanilla Zeppelin, and the song Rock and Roll that the Zeppelin did. We redid that one, and I got a chance to sing lead on that baby. So, check that out. That's available on iTunes as a download. So that's Vanilla Zeppelin. And again, thanks to Golden Robot Records out of Australia for getting behind us, and great management that we had. And we're doing a Supreme song. And it's called A Stop in the Name of Love. Okay. With Mary Wilson, who just passed away from the Supremes, but we just did that, and on that song we got a chance to get Timmy Bogert before he passed away to play bass on it. So that's a pretty cool thing. That should be out in June or July. It's going to be another single. So we're looking forward to. I mean, maybe one of these days we can come down to Australia and rock out.
Yeah, man. If we ever come to Melbourne, Australia, I want to hook up. I'll take you out to the mountains for an afternoon where they got great, listen to this, they got the wineries and they got great pizza, Vince, and the pizza's on me.
Wow, thank you. Okay, bro. we'll give that a shot.
I got to tell you, there's a guy that's in Australia, he's got shops, right? And he went to Italy, he won the world's best pizza. He won the award. He's Italian, he went to Italy and won the award for the world championship.
Wow. That's pretty good. Okay.
We've got a great life here, Vince. Have you been to Australia?
No, I've never been down there, but I'm Italian. It's Vincenzo Montemucci, and I can relate to some good Italian food. In fact, I'm always doing that battle. I'm always watching the scales. You know what I'm saying? But well, we'll check it out if we get down there. I'd love to get down there at some point.
I'm sure you will, but I got to tell you also, my parents are Greek and I love Mediterranean food, so it's pretty good.
Yep, yep. Okay, that's cool, man. Mediterranean stuff. You, I'll tell you, I love being over in Europe. We did so many. We did TV over there in Germany. We did TV all over the place. Over we were over there, and Paris. We played. It's beautiful to be able to travel. I mean, it's too bad about this COVID thing because the traveling thing is just something that everybody should have a chance to do if they could get a chance. We won a Golden Gondola Award in Venice. So a bunch of good stuff.
Why was the band's name changed from the Pigeons in 1965? Was it the record company's idea? And how did Vanilla Fudge come up?
Well, it's a whole story. What happened is when I came up from Florida and I got involved, I got a call from a guy named Joey Brennan, and this guy had some connections with an agent, and they got a hold of me. We started rehearsing, and then we got together with a guy named Jeff Barry, who was somewhat of a mogul in the music business, who was involved with Luther Dixon and Charlie and Inez Fox, and they did. Anybody had it. This guy gave us the name the Pigeons, and what happened is that uh, we were the Pigeons. We didn't really care for the name that much, but we didn't want to go telling this guy no. When you're trying to come up to start out, but you don't want to be telling everybody no. So we became the Pigeons. But once we were the Pigeons, then Ahmed Erdogan from Atlantic Records got involved, and he said, "Look, you guys got to change the name." So we were thinking of something different, and this girl walked in to. She was in a group called the Unspoken Word. She walked into where we were rehearsing at a place called the Action House in Long Island, New York, and she was eating ice cream, and her nickname was Vanilla Fudge. That was her nickname her grandfather gave her. So she heard us talking about name changes, so she just threw out there. She says, "What about Vanilla Fudge?" And it was the first time in like a month or a couple of months we were thinking of name change that nobody shot it down. We started thinking about it, Vanilla Fudge, just like white guys doing black music or something. I mean, the Soul Brothers. So it's something pretty cool. So that's what happened. Once we got into that, we dug it, we stuck with it, and Atlantic liked it, Atlantic Records, and that's the end of that.
Vince, I got to ask you, is Jeff Barry the same guy that worked with the Monkees and also co-wrote the hit song Sugar Sugar in 1969? And he produced I'm a Believer. Is that the same Jeff Barry?
Something? Yeah, it could be. I'm not 100% sure, but it could be. It could be.
Can
But
I ask you, was he tall?
What's that?
Was he a tall guy?
I was a little bit tall. I don't know. He wasn't all that tall. I don't know. He did.
All right, I'll have to research that. No worries. We'll find out. But I'm just curious. He never spoke about the Monkees or the Archies in 69?
Mockingbird is one of the tunes that I think he was involved in. Remember that tune? Mockingbird?
Mockingbird, yeah?
Yeah, I think he was involved with that. But he was a pretty well-known guy in the business. And but once we got with our management, we kind of got away from him. But that could have been a whole another launching pad had we stayed with this guy. But, there was a lot going on at the time. And to be honest with you, I don't have all the details at this point. I wasn't really paying 100% attention to that, as much as I should have possibly.
I understand. But as I said to you, when you look back on your fantastic career, I mean, 1967, that's it. You hit the mark. From there, whatever you did, your first 3 albums, I'm just saying, still fantastic albums. But that first album is killer, isn't it? The Vanilla Fudge one.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's when I would say we were in our most creative period. And again, I got to thank George Shadow Morton because he got us into the studio. He kept the vibes going in a positive way, and we were able to captivate all this kind of stuff. I was into the Indian style guitar there for listening to Ravi Shankar and some of the other groups of the day. The Vagrants was one of them. They were into that. And so we captivated that with Mark Stein with his uncanny way of putting together and dissecting original songs and again with Carmine and Timmy, we just were able to get very creative and put it all together and make it happen. You know, we did Ed Sullivan, a
Unbelievable.
whole bunch of
Now I've
TV
got
shows.
a question here from Charles Rosener. He said, "Did Vanilla Fudge ever tour with Strawberry Alarm Clock and Hot Chocolate?"
Hot chocolate, I don't know about, but the strawberry alarm clock, there's a good chance that we did. But I did something actually with them back in 2007 out on the West Coast. There was a show that we did, Lovin' a Musical Celebration, and it was a whole bunch of acts on it. It was Buddy Miles, his last performance, and also his birthday. Let me see if I can remember who else was on it. There was Peter and Gordon was on that Strawberry Alarm Clock, of course. There was Jesse Colin Young, and that had played in a couple of cities, but that's something that I did myself. That wasn't the rest of the Fudge. That was me and the backing band that was there. But in the old days, let me tell you, we toured with everybody that was playing music. The Doors, uh, Country Joe and the Fish, Cream, Jimi Hendrix, 13 dates in a row. I did a recording with him after the scene one time. There was a big jam sessions, like I was saying earlier in the interview, at a place called the Scene, New York City. Eddie Kramer was there. The club was closing at 4 o'clock in the morning. Eddie says, "Let's go down to the record plant. I got the keys. We'll run the machines." Everybody walks down from 46th to 44th Street. People in the business, the groupies, whatever. I mean, people hanging out, all kinds of people. Went down there, got into the studio, and Jimmy lets me open up the beginning of the solo. And so I got going. I played some stuff, and I didn't had no idea that this guy wasn't going to be around. Shortly after that, but I think that the recording I'm on with Jimi Hendrix is the one it's called "I Woke Up and Found Myself Dead." I mean, it's a crazy title, but that's the title, and that's what I think might be me playing on it. Because, like I said, there was a lot of stuff going on. People were doing whatever, and I didn't ask for a copy. I never really got a chance to hear, but I think that that's the one that I'm on. But
That's
we toured with
unbelievable.
everybody. Yeah, go ahead.
I got one more question here for you, Vince. Any stories about Jeff Beck and that Coca-Cola radio ad?
Any stories with Jeff Beck and what?
Coca-Cola radio ad?
Oh, the Coca-Cola thing. Yeah, what happened with that was I got sick. I was in Long Island. I had some kind of a ridiculous fever. We were supposed to be recording that thing. We were supposed to be recording the Coke commercials. We also did a Braniff commercial for airlines, and I was too sick to go. I couldn't get out of the bed. I had a fever and everything else. I told the guys I can't make this session. They called him, so I think he changed his name on it, J Toad or something. He went down and he did the Coke commercial, and actually I think that's what sparked. With Carmine and Timmy wanted to work with Jeff Beck after that. They decided to do something, but yeah, that. And I heard he had some nice things to say about my playing, and I met him when I went to England the first time. Nice cat.
You know, when I look back on what you've done, Vincent, I said everybody should go out there, make sure they get Vanilla Fudge, your new stuff, make sure they get your book. But let me tell you, when you hear that song, you keep me hanging on. It's like, as I said, you take everybody on a musical journey. It's like it's unlimited. Even the timing of the song is so great. It's not like I got to do a 2-minute pop song. It's like a big fusion of sound and a journey. Like this is before the Beatles. I got to be honest. It's just before the Beatles and heavy. I reckon it's heavier than Abbey Road.
Wow. Thank you, man. I'll tell you, it was a beautiful trip doing it. I hope we can keep doing it as long as we can. And thank you for what you have to say about the band. It's beautiful. I'm glad that we got a chance to get everybody to enjoy that stuff. And again, thanks to the people behind the scenes in the business, the record company, everybody that was involved. Our management that we had at the time was great. And what can I say? I'm humbled to have be able to have been in this position to be able to rock, and I'm still rocking all the time, man. Let me tell you.
But let me tell you something, Vincent, you're going to love this. You are a true rock god, all right? I want to tell you that. To hold it in that band at that level and be the only guitarist, the word true rock god takes on a different meaning with you. And I'm telling you, this is 1967.
Wow.
I pay tribute to you because you are one of the greatest rock gods, all right? We've got Jimi Hendrix. I'm not talking about Jimi Hendrix. I'm talking in America in 1967. At that time, you are a true rock god, all right? And I mean that sincerely.
Well, gee whiz, thank you so much. It's like a spiritual and a musical empowerment. You know what I'm saying? That we can create, and that it all comes together. We all come together as one. So it's a beautiful thing. I got to thank the good Lord, and I got to thank everybody in the business. And what can I say?
I know it's hard to say when you do something so fantastic and so great. And I'll tell you what, you live on in music history forever. And remember that, because Vanilla Fudge made their mark in 67 thereon, and it's great. So everybody out there in the world, we pay tribute to Vince Martell from Vanilla Fudge. You are the true rock god. Thanks, Vince.
God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for having me on. And let's just keep it rocking. Let's come down to Australia and rock out Australia, hopefully at some point. Hey, I want to thank all the Vanilla Fudge fans around the world. I love the interview, and I want to thank my friend Plastic EP.
Go straight to the top of the charts. Go straight to the top of the charts. From 10 to 1, you gotta show number one when you go straight to the top of the charts.